Hello, I am Sydney Cuillier, and welcome to another episode of Sydney's On the Clock. Located here, no other than Old School Barbecue, located at 10655 Coursey Boulevard. So on the side of me today, we have a new guest star, and this is Mr. Jakobe Brumfield.
How y'all guys doing today?
So how about you introduce yourself to the audience, and this is your first time being on the show.
Okay, my name is Jakobe Brumfield. I'm a graduating senior at Sept University, majoring in mass communication, concentration in broadcast.
So, Jakobe, we're just going to get right into it, okay?
That's fine, I'm ready.
This past weekend, the Jackson State Tigers took a visit to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and played the Southern University Jaguars. Fun fact, this was the first hard sellout since 2003. What do you feel, or how do you feel, that Jaguar momentum is going into the season, especially since the entire stadium was sold out?
They have the support. They have the support from the fans. Of course, Baton Rouge is a huge football city. It's just, I'm going to point this out. This is our fourth time in a row losing to Jackson State.
I know.
Yeah. It's not a good feeling at all. It's not a good feeling at all.
So question, do you feel like there's a difference in terms of coaching between when we had Oldham's back in the day versus now under the head coach, Coach Dooley?
Yes. Fun fact, I just found this out Saturday that we didn't have an offensive coordinator.
Right.
That's tragic.
Right.
And to hear Dooley calling the plays, I just wish he opened his playbook up. It's like he's keeping JR hair blood. He's like he keeping them in a box. Let him loose.
Okay, so let's start off. Let's go quarter by quarter. First quarter, we have seen that the Jaguars actually, they started off a little timid. You can tell, but as soon as, I think it was like 4th and 6 or something like that, right? They ended up with a touchdown. And it set the momentum for the rest of the quarter. So what exactly happened after the first quarter?
I'm going to say that it's like just what happened this weekend happened last weekend. They started off strong, scored on last week they scored on the first drive.
Right.
This week they scored on their third drive. Yeah, they scored on their third drive. It just, they lose all momentum after that. And of course, the defense made a couple of stops. It's just the offense couldn't get it going. And then that interception right before halftime, when JR threw the seam across the middle, that was a crusher right there. To me, when I was watching that game, when that interception happened, I knew it was over. I just knew it.
Really?
Yes, I'm not gonna lie. I knew it.
Okay, so question. I know you said that the offense needs work, obviously, right? But I wholeheartedly feel like there are some gems within our offense, where like especially our wide receiver. We have number 88, who is a graduate student from Rice University, right? August Petrie. So what do you think about him and his playing since he's been playing with the Jags the past 2 seasons?
I feel like he's a key addition to the offense. That offense really don't run without him,
right?
To my understanding. And then Harold Blood, he threw for 255 yards, and
like he actually surprised a lot of, I'm not even gonna say surprised us because I knew what he did, or at least I know his capabilities going into everything. But how do you think his execution was, especially against another quarterback that specifically had people like Mulligan, who have people like Irv Mulligan specifically as their go-to?
I mean, he out threw Jason Brown. He out threw Jason Brown. Jason Brown threw for 140 yards. JR threw for 255. I mean, we had the plays. It's like we moved the ball on a couple drives. It's like once we got into our territory, it's like Dooley, it's like his play calling just went backwards for some apparent reason. Offensive line, not a big fan.
Oh, of course.
Not a big fan.
So what do you think the offensive line, because this next coming Saturday, it's another home game at A.W. Mumford. We play the Alabama A&M, the Bulldogs, I believe, correct? What do you feel like the O-line needs to do going into this next game to prepare? Because I can say from looking at film, whenever Alabama A&M has played, they do have an extremely strong O-line.
It's the pass blocking. The run game, they're physical during the run game, but once the pass game, and then fans typically blame the quarterback for that.
Right.
Nah, you can't You can't blame the quarterback when he only have 2 seconds to throw the ball.
I think he got sacked. I think Blood got sacked probably 4 or 5 times this game.
He got sacked 5 times.
5 times. Insane. So now, did you see the petition for Coach Dooley to be removed as head coach? It is now at 265 signatures.
Yes.
Do you think that the Jaguar fans are losing faith in Coach Dooley going into now that we have a 0-2 season?
Yeah, I would say this. I feel optimistic about it. Not just yet, but Dooley need to get that first win of the season.
Right.
He needs to get that first win this weekend, really. This weekend, he cannot fail to go 0-3. Even though those first 2 games, they were a conference game, but they really didn't matter. The Jaguars still got their season in front of them. They still can run the tables, but Dooley need to win Saturday. It's like Saturday is a must-win game. You cannot lose 2 back-to-back home games.
You just can't. And then it's not even after Saturday. We play another stacked team right after that. Literally a top 25 team coming from the SWAC conference. We play Florida A&M right after Alabama A&M. So knowing that who we have, or at least what the Southern Jaguars have the rest of the season, how do you think the rest of the season is going to play out, especially in terms of the way they're playing right now?
Dooley have to run the tables. We have to. One of these games we have to pull an upset off. And that Florida A&M game, if they could upset Florida A&M, that'll be a huge momentum swing. That'll take some pressure off of Dooley back. I feel like they can run the tables. They can run the tables. It just it got to take effort. It got to take better coaching. I feel like the defensive coach, he's one of them. The defense stood their ground, especially when the offense turned the ball over twice, and
that was in the second quarter.
They turned it over twice in the second quarter, and then the defense actually made the stop. Remember, it was the fourth quarter.
Right.
JR fumbled the ball.
Definitely remember that. What was that? That was probably, I think it was about 5 minutes left on the clock going into it.
And the defense got to stop at the 1-yard line and force Jackson State to turn the ball over. Yeah, so the defense is there. The offense is there. It's just open the playbook open some more. Like, give JR some play action. It's just it's too predictable.
So basically, did the Jaguars prove you right or wrong this past weekend?
I mean, I would say neither. They just proved exactly who I thought they were.
Really?
That's what I'm saying.
Can you go into detail real quick?
Like I was saying, basically about how the offense, like, I feel like Dooley don't trust JR all the way. But I see the potential from JR. JR played a hell of a game. He played a hell of a game Saturday.
Okay. That is right here, me, Sydney Cuillier, and Jakobe Brumfield. And stay tuned as we go into commercial break. This has been Sydney's On the Clock.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Very few vehicles develop a community of ownership like the Mazda Miata. But why? Well, maybe it's because Mazda's been building the Roadster for over 25 years and there's never been a bad one. Or maybe it's because the Mazda Miata's been universally praised since its inception as one of the most fun cars to drive for the money. If you're looking for fun, affordability, and reliability, come see our Mazda Miata selection today and experience for yourself why Miata is always the answer. At Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it.
And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Hi gang, Clarence Buggs here, inviting you to come by Old School Barbecue, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, where we tape the show live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 11 o'clock. Come by and feast on news, sports, current events, love of God and country, and lots of common sense, along with some of the best barbecue anywhere on the planet. 10655 Coursey Boulevard, Old School Barbecue, home of the Clarence Buggs Show.
Hello, I am Sydney Cuillier, and welcome back to Sydney's on the Clock. On the side of me, I have Mr. Jakobe Brumfield. So, Jakobe, Baton Rouge is no stranger to historical games. Last year, it was Southern versus LSU. This year, it has been LSU and Grambling. So, you've been at Southern since 2019, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And they just started doing these games within the last 2 years, right? So we saw how much money that was generated for the Baton Rouge economy with these games. So I have a question. Mm-hmm. What is your opinion on FCS schools playing FBS schools for essentially a money game?
I mean, it's beneficial to the FCS school. Mm-hmm. Like, I think LSU paid Graham what it was, $500,000. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of money for, especially at HBCU school.
Right.
And it brings, it's like a culture vibe. It brings schools together.
Sort of like a homecoming in a sense?
Yeah, like a homecoming.
Okay, so another question. So how do you feel, or what do you think about the game that was played with the Grambling Tigers and the LSU Tigers? Because the score essentially was 10-72, which is a blowout. But at the same time, when they first started, they were actually holding their own. So what happened in between?
If you look at the stats, if you look at the scoreboard, it says a lot, 72-10. But if you look at that stat sheet, oh, God.
So let's go into detail with it.
LSU run defense, horrible.
Right.
Horrible. Williams, 7 rushes, 7 attempts for 106 yards.
That's terrible.
That is terrible.
That is terrible.
You facing an SEC defensive school.
My point exactly.
Horrible.
A top SEC school at that.
A top SEC. The 14th team in the country.
Right.
You let a HBCU school have a 100-yard rusher on you. That is not good whatsoever. So,
what else needs to be done for it? Because, again, we already know what had happened last week when the LSU Tigers played the Seminoles. Mm-hmm. What do they need to do going forward in the rest of the season, especially since we knew they were going to win this game, right? This game was essentially for the culture. It was for the city. Mm-hmm. But the next couple of games, I believe they play Arkansas next. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mississippi State. Then Arkansas. What needs to happen for the LSU Tigers?
I'm going to tell this to LSU defensive coordinator. Put Harold Perkins on the line and let him rush the quarterback. They're trying to put him in coverage, and we had first seen that when they played the Seminoles, and he didn't do an effective job at it. It's not working. Harold Perkins, he's like a Michael Parsons. Mm-hmm. He's dominant around the line of scrimmage. Let him rush the quarterback. Let him get to the quarterback. He is going to affect the game. And I feel like just like last week, to me, the defensive coordinator took Harold Perkins out the game. He took him out by letting him drop back in coverage. That is not his game. And I know Harold Perkins do not like dropping back in coverage. Let him rush the quarterback.
So do you think that is affecting, well, of course it's affecting his statistics, especially coming off his true freshman season where it was sack after sack after sack. What else does the defense coordinator need to do? Not just with Harold Perkins, but people like Deuce Chestnut, who else is on basically the entire line in general?
The D-line, first of all, to me, he don't have no trust into his secondary. His secondary is horrible outside of Major Burns. Mm-hmm. And Greg Brooks, okay, but his 2 cornerbacks, oh my gosh. Can I say horrific?
You think so?
Horrific.
You think it's that bad?
Man, did you see last week? Did you see last week against Florida State?
I did. But okay, here's the thing. But I think with Florida State, it wasn't just the play calling and everything. I truly think it was also a fact of physicality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Florida State, let's call it what it is. When you sit there and actually go through the roster, Florida State just has bigger players on their team, bigger and faster players.
And I feel like Brian Kelly, he gotta get recruits from Louisiana. He can't keep letting them go out of state. He's using the transfer portal, but he's not using it right. You cannot go get two cornerbacks from. He got one cornerback from Syracuse and the other one from Southeastern.
Mm-hmm.
They can't compete in the SEC like that. You need big physical cornerbacks. It's just.
So in terms of cornerbacks and position playing, do you feel like the SEC is different versus like the Big 12 or Pac-12, Big 10, any other conferences?
Currently, right now, the SEC is 1-4 against the ACC. So something special when Alabama losing to Texas this weekend. Mm-hmm. Texas A&M losing to Miami.
Okay, now actually let's speak on it. So Alabama versus Texas. Mm-hmm. Do you think that the dynasty of Alabama is coming to an end?
Yes.
Ooh, controversial. Okay,
yes.
Go into specifics.
Yes, I actually see Alabama losing at least 3 to 4 games this season.
Really?
Yes.
So what do you think, or what has Nick Saban done differently, or do you think the talent is just going elsewhere? To
be honest, I seen it's not the. Yes, the talent is going. The NIL, it's hurting. That's when the NIL started. That's when I seen the downfall for Nick Saban and Alabama.
So speaking of NIL, right? NIL has also always been a controversial topic, especially in the sports world. Do you think athletes should continue getting paid through NIL?
Yes, most definitely. These schools are generating millions of dollars. Why not? Why not give back to your athletes? Mm-hmm. And I love LSU, even LSU and Southern, Gordon McKernan, how he even Ty Graves with Razor Cane.
Right.
They're giving money to these college students. I love the NIL. That was the best thing that could have happened to college football to me.
I feel like wholeheartedly with NIL too, it sets players up because you'll never know what happens, right? A lot of times with the athletes, nothing is predictable in terms of who you are, right? Mm-hmm. You could potentially get an injury, not just injury, just something could happen down the line that you just cannot prepare yourself for. We've seen so many stories of not just football specifically, but all D1 athletes who were amazing during their primes, but let's say an injury or an accident happened to where they couldn't capitalize off of that and they had nothing going after that. So we're about to move into the next segment soon, but I'm just going to touch on it. NFL season has finally started.
Yes. It's been a long time coming. But I honestly can say, week 1 kind of disappointed me.
Oh, okay. Before we get into that, because we'll touch on that in the next segment, right? How do you think the NFL, in terms of specifics, what do you think the NFL needs to do? Because I know the NFL is also losing viewers at the same time, right? What do they need to do to make sure that they're keeping viewership and they're keeping their audience engaged with what's going on?
First of all, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but lately players and fans been kind of upset with the NFL with this artificial turf. Mm-hmm. That's how players are getting hurt. Prime example, star quarterback Aaron Rodgers last night towards Achilles on artificial turf. Is players don't like it. It's not safe for the game. Torn ACLs, torn meniscus is hurting. Torn Achilles is just. It's bad, and players don't like it. It's not, but they not listening. So
stay tuned as we'll come back for this next segment, which will be the Saints opener. This has been Sydney Cuillier and Jakobe Brumfield with Sydney's on the Clock.
Every great story starts with the rush of thrilling gaming action. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Getaways for some well-deserved me time. And rewards worth bragging about. If it's a story worth telling, it starts at La Berge Baton Rouge. What's your story?
Get huge savings all summer long with the Buy Here, Sell Here program at the Team Automotive Group. Sell your vehicle to us and we'll pay you top value. Or buy here and get a 90-day warranty on the purchase of a pre-owned vehicle. Get Team VIP service at every location of the Team Automotive Group.
Few things in life are as valuable as family and peace of mind, especially when it comes to your final arrangements. And that's where Lee Serio can help. His prepaid funeral plans make sure your life will be remembered exactly the way you want it to. With Lee Serio, no detail is too large or too small. Call Lee or his wife Gretchen at 225-315-6329. Let Lee Serio give you and your family the peace of mind you all deserve.
Visit Treads & Care Tire Company's new location on Hooper Road in Central. Locally owned for over 50 years, Treads & Care is known for quality automotive repair and top-notch customer service.
I'd like to invite you to come out and see us at our new location in Central.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Hi, I'm Katie, Operation Manager here at Old School Barbecue. We're excited about all of the changes here at Old School, and we'd like to invite everyone to come out and enjoy some delicious barbecue at Old School prices. We feature brisket, chicken, ribs, sausage, and the Boss Hog pulled pork sandwich voted best deal in town. We also have live music Friday and Saturday from 7 to 10 p.m. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. We can't wait to see you.
This is Sydney Cuillier again, as with Sydney's on the clock, when no other at Old School Barbecue 10655 Coursey Boulevard. On the side of me, I have Jakobe Brumfield, and as you know, this weekend started the season opener with the Saints. So, what do you think about the NFL schedule going on, how they played against the Titans?
It was a hard, tough battle.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you think Derek Carr was?
I think he was fantastic to me.
Oh, I think he was too. Honestly, I feel like he proved a lot of people wrong. He is now 1-0 with the Saints. However, the game was definitely a lot of a field goal game. Let's call it what it was. Mm-hmm. It was a field goal game. He made some good choices. You know, he got sacked. However, he got sacked a couple of times, but that wasn't due to him. That was due to his O-line, which is terrible.
I wouldn't even say it was due to his O-line. I would say one player.
Specific who?
Trevor Penny.
You think so?
Arden Key whipped Trevor Penny from the first quarter to the end of the game, basically. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was the defensive coach. I know Dennis Allen. He's a big part of that defense. He had to make some adjustments. Right? Mm-hmm. He had to put a tight end to help him, a tight end over there to help him, even a running back to help Arden Key, because Arden Key was just dominating Trevor Penny from the start. Mm-hmm. That's where most of that pressure came from, was the left side of the line.
You think so?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. So, quickly, what do you think about the interception he threw to Titan safety Amani Hooker? Because it was directly to him. Let's call it what it was.
It was just a bad read. To me, this weekend it was so many turnovers. It was just a bad read. I wouldn't even put that one on him. At least he didn't throw multiple interceptions like Ryan Tannehill did.
No, he did 3. So, this is not the end of Sydney's on the clock. We'll be right back after commercial.
You can't smell it, but you can almost taste it. And whether it's for a family get-together or a game day feast, having Manda in the mix always sounds good. For 3 generations, their quality meats and original seasonings have made Manda a Louisiana legend and made their family sausage Louisiana's family sausage. Manda Fine Meats. The flavor says it all.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
It's time to go where summer leads you during the season of discovery at Team Mazda. Transcend ordinary in the Mazda CX-5 or experience the next level of luxury in the all-new Mazda CX-90. Come by today and discover Mazda at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
This is Sydney Cuillier and
Jakobe Brumfield
with Sydney's on the clock. So quickly, just a little conversation we could have to run the show out. Alvin Kamara. So we know about his suspension. Do you think that him coming back, especially if he plays well, is going to have a big effect on the Saints?
Oh, most definitely. Alvin Kamara is a top 3 running back in the NFL to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna open the playbook. It's gonna take some pressure off Chris Olave, Michael Thomas. You're gonna always have another weapon.
Okay, so opinion piece. Do you think the Saints have the best defense in the NFL from what we've seen? Because I'm not gonna lie, I think they're solid, but at the same time, you have to consider the Browns, the Eagles, and controversial, but the Cowboys as well too.
Yes, you had a lot of good defensive performances this weekend. Mm-hmm. Like you said, the Browns, the 49ers, the Eagles, the Cowboys, they all played the fight. They definitely top 5. And I want to talk about this. Marshawn Lattimore is a dog.
Dog. Him as well as Chris Olave too,
right? Oh yeah,
right?
Chris Olave.
So, Jakobe, I just want to thank you so much for coming on the show, right? How have been your experience, especially since this is your first time on TV?
Yes, it's been good. I love it. I hope you have me back. So
this has been Sydney Cuillier and
Jakobe Brumfield.
And this has been Sydney's on the Clock, none other than Old School Barbecue, located at 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Thank y'all and have a great rest of your day.